Is your business pootling along instead of firing on all cylinders? Are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated? Do your dreams of financial freedom feel a long way off? Then this is the podcast for you. Little Voice, Big Business, with your host, Nadia Finer.
Hi there, welcome to Little Voice, Big Business with me, Nadia Finer. Today, I want to talk to you about profit, aka money.
Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, it makes the world go round.
Money you get to keep after you've paid all your bills. I think many of us aren't making very much profit when all is said and done, perhaps even none at all. I recently did a survey of my list and found that over 2/3 of people were making less than $1,000 a month profit, which really isn't very much money and definitely is not enough to live off. And is also very disappointing if we're actually working really hard to get to that point and the money you're left with at the end is essentially some kind of pin money or pocket money. It's not enough to live the kind of life that you're dreaming of. So I've been on a mission to sort this out with my clients and also through my group program called Project Profit, which is just coming to an end as we speak. And I'm determined to help women like you make enough money in your business for it to be worthwhile, for you to be able to buy the kind of things that you want to buy and also afford sensible stuff like paying the bills on the mortgage or being able to treat the people that you love to stuff like holidays or buy a new car if you need to, that kind of thing. We're not in this to have an expensive hobby because I feel like that's actually a waste of time. We could just have an expensive hobby and it wouldn't be quite so stressful or hard work. So we're here to actually make money from our businesses. And the first thing I'd like to address is something which many of us feel and which I'm constantly talking to clients about, and that is a certain awkwardness around money. I'm not going to preach to you and pretend that I feel completely comfortable talking about money or charging my worth, because it's definitely something which I'm working on. But I think there are some things which we can do to improve the situation. So first of all, what do I mean by awkwardness around money? Well, the kinds of things I'm talking about are if you feel funny telling somebody how much your service or product costs, if you feel the urge to constantly discount yourself and go in low because you want people to like you, and this is something I do, don't tell anybody, but I often don't send an invoice straight away, and it's a kind of procrastination technique, and yet sending invoices is the thing that's going to definitely get you paid. So you might find you're putting off things which will result in you getting paid. You often offer to do things for free. You feel guilt around charging for stuff. So there's lots of things which might be going on in your mind and also which will impact how you run your business. And I think there are some important things to bear in mind. There have been, first of all, lots of books written on this subject, money mindset. For example, Get Rich, Lucky Bitch, and there's lots of other books along those lines which I think can be helpful. However, I find just thinking about some key points when I'm addressing the issue of money helps me to move forward. So I'm hoping I will share these with you and you will be cured of this nonsense forever.
Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
Hopefully. Okay, if you find yourself falling into the trap of feeling like you should be doing things for free or feeling guilty around charging, I find it helps me to think that if I was working for a charity, I would still get paid. So even if I was in a charity helping people to grow their businesses, the chances are the charity would pay me. People who work for charities on the whole, other than volunteers, get paid. Okay, once you realise that, it sort of helps free you up a little bit. If you didn't get paid for what you do, you wouldn't be able to keep on doing it. So let's assume that unless you get paid, you can't continue doing what you're doing. Eventually, you'd have to stop because the mortgage needs paying, the bills need paying, and you need to eat. So you'd have to go off and get another kind of job that paid you money so you could survive. So in fact, charging for your services enables you to help more people. And I'm assuming that's why you're doing what you're doing, is because you like helping people and you want to create some kind of change in their lives. So by being paid to do that, you get to help more people. Okay, that's point number 2. Point number 3, I didn't believe at first, but it turns out it is true. If you give people something for free or at a very low price, they don't appreciate it. They don't take it seriously and they're less likely to get results. And I've tested this myself. For example, there have been times when I've given people perhaps membership of something or allowed them to have a free session, for example, or in the past I've helped people for free with their businesses. And when you do this, I've found, and this is also written about by lots of other people, that people don't value the service that they've been given. So I think about this as well in terms of, you know, when you go shopping and you buy something which is maybe, say, clothes, because that's easy to think about. Say you buy something which is a total bargain, which is very, very cheap. You don't necessarily wear it as much as you thought you were going to, and you don't wear it as much as, say, something which was more expensive, which you value and appreciate more. I know when, say for example, I'm a bit of a sucker for handbags. I love bags. When I've bought a super cheap bag, I don't really treat it very well, not like one of my more expensive items. And I perhaps don't even use it very much. And when I use it, I feel a bit funny about it, like not this old thing. Even if it's even if it's just as nice as a more expensive one, there's definitely something going on here. And we don't want to be that person who is undervalued, underappreciated, and whose clients don't necessarily implement the changes or the actions that we're supporting them with, because that would mean that we're not actually doing a great job and we don't get great results because people are not taking it seriously. When you're running a business, giving people advice or help with a particular challenge or problem, so whether that's helping them grow their business or get into shape, it seems to me that if you're setting a bad example by not setting boundaries and by not charging your worth, you're actually sending a really messed up message to your clients, particularly if you're helping them with something, supporting them to value themselves. You're not actually doing a great job, if you're showing them that you don't value yourself. Makes sense, right? So what's the solution? Well, there are some really simple things you can put in place in your business to make it easier to get paid and ask for money, and therefore make more money, more profit in your business. So the first thing I recommend is having some systems in place. Now, this doesn't sound particularly glamorous or sexy, but having systems in place which ensure you get paid is a very good idea. And what I'm talking about here are things like terms and conditions, which some of us may not have got round to writing yet, or maybe we're not very good at actually sending them out and getting contracts signed. It's so important. If you want to get paid and not have people ditch you in the middle or forget to get paid or just vanish or cancel at the last minute, you're basically setting yourself up for disaster. So definitely get some terms and conditions.
Does your business feel like an expensive hobby? Are you waiting for the clients to fall from the sky? Are you feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated? It's time to ramp it up. The Actionista Academy is the most action-focused inner circle for female solopreneurs. It's guaranteed to get you moving with group calls, one-to-one support, a classroom-sized private Facebook group, templates, tools and weekly accountability. You'll get unstuck in no time. The Actionista Academy is perfectly affordable.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
For details of how to sign up, visit nadiafiner.com.
It's a really good idea to have systems in place. So, for example, someone expresses an interest in working with you. You send them a contract. On acceptance of the contract, they receive an invoice. The invoice explains that they need to pay half up front, 50%, and then the other 50% perhaps on completion of the project. Therefore, you are safe in the knowledge that you've got half the money and the rest is coming later. They've signed a contract, a legally binding contract, so you're pretty sure, all things being well, you'll get paid at the end. Now, I feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs. Insert slurpy noise of someone sucking an egg. But sometimes we maybe don't get round to doing this stuff, and it can lead to you perhaps chasing payments. Insert Adele song, Chasing Pavements. That always makes me laugh. I don't want you to be wasting time chasing money. It's so awkward, and if you're not keen on talking about money, that's like your worst nightmare. So by sorting this stuff out at the beginning, it almost means you don't have to talk about it. Another really simple thing you can do is set your prices. Write them down, have them on your website. And when you're talking to someone about your price, when you feel the urge to chop off a zero or cut it in half, don't. Just read the price. Read the price you've already written down and that you decided upon. Don't change it or cut it up. Just read it out loud. Write it on your hand if you have to. Do whatever it takes to stop yourself from undermining your own credibility. Okay. Now, I've talked about selling and the sales process before, but I'll just remind you that selling something is essentially solving a problem for people, for someone, your ideal person. And if you come from the point of view that selling is just helping, it makes life a lot easier. So create products which solve a problem for your people, products and services. So for example, if your audience are companies who struggle to make their presentations interesting and you're an artist, then solve that problem for them by creating a way for them to make their presentations more interesting. If you're helping people who've got really wonky, hairy eyebrows to have beautiful shaped brows, that's the problem you're solving. And you just need to demonstrate to them, I know you're struggling with this, and you want to be like this, well, I can help you get there. And that's all you're doing. And I really find when I'm talking to somebody who I'm about to sell to, I just think about the fact that I'm helping them rather than selling to them. Because if you talk about it in those terms, selling to, it just feels a bit sort of forced and a bit kind of aggressive, whereas helping feels really nice. If you have weird emotions around money, it can impact how you spend your time running your business. I mentioned a moment ago that I often don't send invoices, and that is my way of kind of avoiding the issue or even sort of sabotaging the success of my business, because if people don't get an invoice, they're not going to pay me, so then I'm not going to make any money. So I'm wondering what it is that you do around money or what you avoid doing, and whether you're in fact focusing on the wrong activities within your business. So time and time again, I talk to female solopreneurs who mention that they are super busy and yet they're not growing their business. And when we look at the kinds of activities they're doing, it could be that they're endeavouring to write 3 blogs a week, for example, or that they're creating stuff, a lot of stuff. And those are usually activities, well, examples of activities which make alarm bells ring for me, because those are not money-making activities. When your fallback position is to make stuff, and I have a friend, Louise, who will understand this very well, and I do it too, where rather than going out and marketing ourselves or connecting with people or pitching or running webinars or setting up some ads or anything like that, our fallback position is to make more stuff. So that's when you find yourself perhaps go, "Ooh, I've had an idea, I'll make this ebook. Oh, what about this? I'll make this lovely printable, or I'll design a new logo, or I might just change my website completely and change my colours, find some new images," that kind of thing. You end up making stuff rather than growing your business. And in order to make money, profit in your business, there needs to be a certain amount of money-making activities. Like I said, the kind of stuff which is actually going to directly result in a sale. So for me, that would be talking to potential clients on discovery calls and then making some sales. That is, in its simplest form, the thing I could do to grow my business. Now, I don't know precisely why we avoid doing this stuff, whether it scares us or we don't enjoy it as much as making nice things, or whether we're avoiding the issue or sabotaging our own success. Whatever it is, we've got to stop fiddling around and making stuff and get on with the kinds of activities which are going to grow your business. I realised that some focus is required. And it's all very well having a list. It's all very well having a list of things that you're going to work on, because it's so easy to get distracted from the real issues, the real things that are going to grow your business. So I made a profit planner for you to download, which is essentially 2 pages that you print off each week, and it helps you shape your week around things like money-making activities, other important things like setting a goal. What is your goal for the week? How many new clients are you going to get? What's your income goal? Things like leads and opportunities, which are so easy to lose track of and lose altogether if we store them in random ways like scraps of paper or the back of our hand. I'm encouraging us to have more of a process around sales, so working out who you need to speak to that week to achieve your goal, what activities you need to focus on, celebrating your wins, looking at things you could delegate so you can move your business forward without spending too much time on the little things. So I've made this planner for you. Obviously, it's pretty, it looks nice, and it's really easy to use. It's just 2 pages, and you can get your copy if you go to nadiafiner.com/pp. nadiafiner.com/pp, and you will be able to get your hands on a lovely profit planner, which will hopefully get you a bit more focused and on track to achieving those 5k months that we all talk about. And it should hopefully dissipate some of the worries that we have around money, because you'll be so busy moving forward. And before you go, just to remind you of my tips to help you get to grips with money as part of your business. Firstly, think about the fact that charities, people who work for a charity, usually get paid. Being paid enables you to keep on helping people. Charging a proper value for your services or products means that people will appreciate it more. It sets the tone for you running a professional business with you valuing yourself and your abilities. And also remember that setting up boundaries and terms and conditions will make it less complicated, will make it less awkward, because everything will be set out and organised beforehand. Okay, I want you to focus on money-making activities. I want you to realise that you're solving a problem for people and that you need to have a plan using my profit planner, and that will help you focus on how you're going to make the money.
We're worth it.
We're worth it.
We're worth it.
We're worth it. You're worth it.
So I hope that's been useful for you, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye bye.
Little voice, big business.